two, one.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here with Rebekah Jones with the Rebekah Jones Campaign, and she is running for U.S. Congress. She's the Democratic nominee for U.S. Congress, Florida District 1, and she's going to tell us all about why she is doing this and how it's going to impact your businesses for what she's advocating for. And she has just joined the Pensacola Chamber as a membership, and just to show her support for the local business community and what she's going to be able to do to stand in the gap for you and advocate for you in your business and your workplace. So, Rebekah Jones, please introduce yourself. Tell us about, a little bit about yourself and why you're running for U.S. Congress District 1.
All right. Well, my name is Rebekah Jones, as you mentioned, and I am a candidate for Congress for U.S. District 1, running for this November. The election is Tuesday, November 8th, so make sure that you vote. Before all of this, I was a hurricane researcher and scientist, and I worked for the state of Louisiana, helping them with their climate change and hurricane impacts mitigation all across the coast, and then moved to Florida in 2016 to do my PhD in similar work before taking a job with the state in disaster response. I also happen to be Forbes's first ever Technology Person of the Year in 2020. And so something I would personally like to see developed in Pensacola and beyond in our district is a more robust technology field. So we have some of the best cybersecurity and cyber education programs in the whole South right here in Pensacola. And we should be bolstering those programs. So what is the first thing that businesses need before they, especially if you're trying to poach from out of state, decide to move to a location? And that's infrastructure and similar amenities to what you would see out in California or Washington or Oregon or the states where right now the tech industry is the biggest. And we unfortunately don't have that. We need to bring some of that major infrastructure funding bill to the first district for projects to make sure that we have affordable housing for employees, that we have schools that are fully staffed with qualified teachers for the kids of the people who want to start lives here. We need to appeal in every possible way that we can to bring in tech jobs. And as, like I said, Forbes' Tech Person of the Year, I can't imagine someone better to champion for bringing those jobs here than me.
That's excellent. We have a lot of people that are involved in our community that believe in the same things that you're talking about, especially when it comes to STEM research and development in this area. We're kind of like trying to compete with a lot of different places in the U.S., but we do have some key things in our area. We have our military installations, and we have a lot of support from the local community for this. So I love that you are really focusing in on that and bringing that technology here. We have the Institute for Human and Machine Cognition. We have UWF and their cybersecurity program, which is very robust. So I love that you are bringing that and advocating for that. Now, when it comes to our local businesses, you were talking about building up that infrastructure and, people's workplaces. What are some other things that you're doing for the constituents or that you want to stand for in this area for the constituents that may impact their business?
So one of the biggest issues we have with workforce is housing right now. We don't have a lot of affordable housing, and it's a systemic issue. We have foreign investment companies that are buying housing here for the sole purpose of renting to Americans or for converting properties that are single-family homes and apartments into short-term rentals, and we need to put a stop on that. It's inflating the prices of housing here to the point where people who work, let's say in the service industry, can't afford to live here anymore. And with wages stagnant, and if you can factor in inflation, which is of course out of control, then it's not a livable place. It's not an affordable place. Mm-hmm. And if you want to have a company, you need people who can afford to live and work here. And so from a federal policy standpoint, we can stop foreign investment companies from buying residential property for the purpose of renting to U.S. Americans. We can also start taxing those companies, major companies who start buying properties that are single family homes for Airbnb rentals and are not being taxed as businesses because it's technically rental income, which is a different tax code. Then we'll have more of that affordable housing available again. And it's really important because the strain on people who live and work here is growing faster than any relief for it. And that's one of the first things I'm going to make sure that we take care of.
Now, just for my own understanding, and I'm sure that there may be some others that might have this kind of question. So you're talking about these organizations that are foreign investment firms or foreign entities that are coming in, buying up these large lots of real estate. Is that kind of like like Blackstone or something like that. Is that related or is that different?
That's one type of it. I mean, we also have companies from Argentina and Germany. And again, these are real estate companies that are not housed here. They're not paying U.S. taxes.
Gotcha.
They're buying and then upcharging rent to U.S. citizens. And that's not a practice, especially with the current out of control rent prices in this area, that we need to be facilitating or endorsing in any way.
Right, right. So the only reason why I was asking was because I think something that you're mentioning is something that not many are actually aware of that's even happening. And unless they're plugged into the housing market or the way that the financial industry and the housing market are tied together, they don't even realize that this is happening. They just see, okay, well, everything in our area is overpriced. What's the deal?
Yes.
And so I think that there's definitely an education piece that you can bring to the area when it comes to the affordable housing. There's not just one quick, easy Band-Aid on it,
Exactly.
but it's a much more complex issue on that. Do you have anything else to add on that?
Yeah, I think that it's a poor practice in general to not have any protections whatsoever for renters either. So we have these kind of slumlords who will buy thousands of properties, and then when it comes to renew their lease, they'll increase the rent 100 or 200%. I personally had mine go up 50% when it was time to renew my lease, and if you can't afford it, you're on the street. And if all the prices continue to climb, then there's nowhere else to go. And that's part of the reason why we see so many families being evicted, thousands a month in Escambia County alone. And if we're putting families on the street, then how well is our local economy doing? This is a serious problem for families. And that should be, if nothing else, Northwest Florida should be a place where families can grow and live and thrive. And we need to be doing more to support that.
Excellent. Well, I know that there's more to your platform than just these two topics that we covered. So that leads me into my next question, or actually the next run of questions. The first one is going to be, if someone wants to get involved and assist with your campaign, we only have a few more days up until the election, and we are hoping from your campaign standpoint that continues on and that you will continue to need support and assistance. So what are some of the ways that people can help?
So our office right here where we're standing is at 40 South Palafox Street. It's on the second floor in downtown Pensacola. But you can also contact our team at votejones2022.com. And we have email addresses there. Our phone number, our office phone number is there. You can reach out to us anytime. We'll find a way to pull you in. It's going to be a little hectic. We're 8 days away. But, we're always looking for help. And no matter what, we're still going to be here and doing good in this community. So you're welcome to join us.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Rebekah, for joining us. Thank you for joining the Chamber. Thank you for your focus on the technology infrastructure for our area, something very, very important as people definitely saw in 2020 how important that technology infrastructure is, and then also for the affordable housing for everyone in our community. So I'll just leave it with this. Is there anything else that you want to leave with our audience before we go?
Vote and vote early. Just make sure you vote. That is your voice in this democracy. And thank you.
All right, excellent. All right, everyone. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.